Okay, so you want to live off grid. All right, let's talk about that. Well, first off, you're going to need a generator. Okay? Remember, you can't be hooked up to anything. So you got to produce your own power. Right? So I got two 110s going into the house. The off-grid house, I should add. Okay. Let's go on into the little house. You guys haven't seen this in a while. I've made some improvements. Oh yeah. Come into the apartment. We'll shut that door, lock it, and here's the setup. Now this is the first real cold day that we've had here in Raleigh. Okay, so as you can tell, I got lighting. If I want, I got TV. I got stereo, no problem. Dresser. How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Sink, you know, right? And there's a water catchment system underneath it. See? A little dark there, I know, but as you can see, got the Big Buddy heater. Got all the survival food I need. Tons of it stashed everywhere. Appliances, all electrical. Now, this panel's not connected yet. Now, one of these days, I might get, you know, an electrician out here and post-wire this house and run power to it from the city, but right now, everything's off grid. As you can tell, I'm running my own power. And I went to an estate sale yesterday and got this queen bed frame for $100 with the bedding, okay? I had the mattress, the queen, brand new, from another estate sale that was given to me free. So now I got this gorgeous, gorgeous bed. Of course, my closet, all my other things that I use, kitchen gear. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is an apartment away from home. And this is the name of the boat. It's gonna be Badfish. And obviously I'm gonna have somebody reproduce this. And this is what's going on the side of the Grady White. Once it comes out of the shop, again, oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, this is how I hang out. Now, it's really, really comfortable in here, okay? So let's do this. I got my tripod all set up. There we go. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit. Now let's have a conversation. All right. Good morning. Well, actually, it's 1 o'clock. Here's mud in your eye. Now, hopefully the light's working in my favor here as far as lighting, camera action, and all that good stuff. As you know, this month, let's see, well, actually, December the 9th will be the official 9 years out here on the off-grid farm. Now, I thought years ago that this is kind of the way I was going to work this whole thing, but I wasn't really sure what the outcome was up front, okay? Because, you know, sometimes when you make plans change based on cost, availability, and just that your mind sometimes changes your focus on certain things, and then you want to go about it a little bit differently. Well, in the very beginning, I was trying to buy the land beside me, but I ended up not doing that. I said the 4 acres is enough, because the one thing I didn't want to do is get trapped out here working too much acreage, like over 30 acres. I just didn't want to work. I didn't want to do that much work, okay? I wanted to have my little spot, and I got it. My 4 acres is enough. I had all the farm equipment, as you know, the bulldozer, the excavator, the dump truck, all those different things I had out here so I can build the infrastructure. Infrastructure's built. I don't really have to do anything except you literally just cut the grass, take out the trash, and fight bugs. That's about really all I have to do is fight bugs, a lot of bugs. But I thought, you know, if this place was going to be something that you could come out here and actually be comfortable, you know, I don't mind roughing it, you know, because when you think of off-grid, you think, oh, you know, you're doing a whole bunch of homesteading, you know, chopping lumber, you know, and a lot of people do the, you know, 18th century style off-grid living where they're totally self-sustaining. Well, I'm not I'm not a pioneer of the West, okay? So I had to take some basic new technologies like generator, propane, and make it work. But at the same time, make it cost effective also. Remember, the whole point of coming out here and doing this kind of thing, for this thing to be cost effective, and it has to be ultimately very, very, very cheap. Now, here's the reason for this conversation, this video today, is because I'm running into, in fact, CETO. Let me give you a couple examples. The guy who came out, he was part of CETO, young guy. Him and I started talking while he was towing me. When he linked up with me, because he had to bring me into the channel, so he came in close. We were just literally as close as you and I to this, for me as this camera. We were talking, and him and his girlfriend had been talking about going off grid, and I told him that I'm already off grid, blah blah blah, and here's what I've done, and here's what I'm doing. Here's my YouTube channel. He said, "Oh man, that's what we want to do." And he sounded, he was a little bit more realistic. He says he knew he was going to have to go outside of Wilmington and go into like Leland and those back communities and back counties, 50, 60 miles out of town, to be able to find land. And I told him, but his girlfriend wasn't realistic, as she was trying to say, let's go off grid, but we want to stay in Wilmington. That's not going to happen, folks. That part there's not going to happen. It's like going off grid in Raleigh. Where the hell do you do that at? You know, you can't do it. Because the one thing a lot of people don't understand is this about going off grid. First off, number one, you got to have the land. And you got to have the right rating on the land, okay? You can't just go take any plot of land and consider it off grid and start building stuff and, you know, doing whatever you want to do. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. The county will set limits and liabilities, HOAs, you know, there's all kinds of things, you know, local and state, you know, government regulations as far as zoning. The zoning of the land is very important. It's what they call land usage. You don't know what that land usage is until you check the zoning. Okay, that's why it was so important for me when I found this place that I checked the land zoning on it, and it's farm residential unrestricted. Okay, that's very, very important. Plus, this is under 10 acres. So I can't get any benefits from crop failure or anything like that. Let's just put it that way. When you have under 10 acres, you really don't get no assistance whatsoever. Okay, it doesn't matter what happens. The state's not coming in to help you do anything with that land. Ag department, nothing. So the only thing you can do is create designation and have the county register the land as for a certain purpose. For mine, it's a hobby farm. Okay, that's it. The hobby farm. So I'm able to get away with stuff like this And this is considered a shed. Okay, this is a shed. Keep that in mind. It's under 400 square feet. Plus, being that I'm on land that is deemed a farm, I can build all these outbuildings. Okay, do you get that? That's the important part of land and the ownership of land and land usage and what you can and cannot do with it. Now, if it's zoned any other way, there's going to be other restrictions that you have to follow, like, open burn pits. Can you shoot a pistol or a rifle on your own land? Can you hunt on your own land? There's all kinds of things and regulations that apply to each individual land parcel, or depending on the county you're looking at, okay, wherever you're looking for land. Now, also another buddy of mine, his cousin and them just came in from New York, young couple again. And I told them that this is what I do, this is what I own, this is how I've been doing this all this year. And they confirmed that they're trying to do the same thing. Now, they're already in an RV. So they're already traveling the East Coast in a truck and an RV, him and his girlfriend, and 3 dogs. They're looking for land too. Or they're looking for some space that they can park their RV and still work, because they work remote. They're remote workers. So they're earning a living. But the idea of what they're trying to find is they've got to be willing to invest in land. Okay, you've got to invest in land. If you can't do that, you're not going to get very far, because very few people out there now are going to let you homestead on their property. Okay, I tried it once here with Mark for 18 months, and it turned out to be a total disaster. Okay, because he didn't realize how hard it is being off-grid daily, okay? You still got to get fuel, you still got to have transportation, you still got to have insurance. There's all kinds of things that you still have to buy, and you got to bring in food and, refrigeration and, solar, all that stuff. Once you start looking at the big picture, it's very, very difficult to live off-grid. Now, I can get away with what I'm doing out here because I took a long time and took my time thinking about it and building, like I said, the infrastructure. Like this little house is completely insulated. So that little buddy heater has only been on for when I got here, I turned it on 15 minutes, and it's toasty 70 degrees in here right now. In other words, that little heater can heat 400 square feet. I'm at 392 square feet. But it heats it up in minutes, okay? I've got an air conditioner. Remember, everything is 110 power here. So if I got a 110 outlet anywhere in here, I can run it off that generator. So it runs the lights, it runs the refrigerator, runs the air conditioner, it runs my hot plates. So you got to be careful of load, because load obviously will trip a breaker if you got too much on a 110 line. So you got to use your brain. Now this kind of living is not for everybody. This is if you have an extremely steady income. Okay, you got to have steady. In other words, you could live like this. I could live like this. I can live like this, but I would see what would be the biggest problem is that I would have to go out every single day to hunt down more supplies. It's really all it boils down to, is constantly bringing in supplies. Okay, that's what you're contending with. Always contending with is the supply problem. Gasoline, propane, water. You gotta think of all the stuff. The food. How do you take a shower out here when there's no hot water heater? And I've only got 55 gallons that I'm collecting right now for water, where I used to collect 300 gallons. And I seen it to where even with a 300 gallon tote, it goes dry if there's no rain. Like right now, we're in a small drought. We haven't had any serious rain in a long time. And that's another thing that you have to contend with. Is Mother Nature could be very, very brutal. We just came off an extreme heat wave this year across globally. It's been the hottest year on record globally. So consider that. That can also affect how you live. Plus, too, if you're on a fixed income, and inflation could chew up any monies that you may have if you're on a budget trying to make this whole thing work. So it wouldn't be any cheaper really to live here than living in the city if you had a job. Now, if I didn't have a job and I was on fixed income, I could come out here and manage it. Okay, I can manage the money. I can manage the amount of stuff that I have to bring in on a daily basis based on my needs at that time. Okay, so when you guys think about going off grid and the lifestyle and what you think this this kind of life is for you, I would really do my homework and do the research, because you can come out here, build you something like this or an RV and get yourself in a lot of trouble, and then you're going to be miserable, because I have seen a lot of YouTubers that really have said they regret going off grid. Okay, well, on that note, thank you everybody for being on my channel. The numbers are going up. Thank you. This is a slow growing channel. This is a vlog. I'm real. I do no video editing whatsoever. This is just raw video. I bring to you almost every single day about something, okay? Something in my world. But I just noticed that my propane's running out in my heater, so I got to change the bottles on it. And I'll talk with you guys tonight. You know what to do. Tom out of here.